Hello, everybody, and welcome to Sunday Stamping with Susan and Julie. My name is Susan LaCroix, and this is my wonderfully gorgeous daughter, Julie.
You're so
We've
sweet.
been we've been demonstrators for over 20 years. Julie, you're 21. I'll be 21 in a few months. Not years old, which would be nice, but oh
Right?
well. And so we live a couple states apart. We don't get to stamp together very often. So
Yeah.
Julie came up with a brilliant idea a couple of years ago, 2 years, to do this over Zoom and share with you. So here we are. This is Sunday, June 11th, and tomorrow is Julie's daughter, my granddaughter's Claire's birthday.
That's right. Oh my gosh.
She's going to be 18.
18.
She's
And
graduating
we
high school.
we haven't talked about it, but when she was 9, she was like, I can't wait to be 18 so I can sign up as a demonstrator and I'm gonna go to
Yes.
conference with you and Nana. And
Oh,
it was adorable. She used to talk about she'd be like, yeah, I'll meet you at the airport. And I was like, how do you think you're getting to the airport?
oh, that's so
Oh,
funny.
right now, I don't think it's on her radar to sign up as a demonstrator. She is getting ready to go away to college and is just not thinking about that. And lately, I would say this is true of all my girls though. Her art is more art, painting, drawing, that kind of thing. And less paper crafting.
Right.
I wish I could draw and paint like they do and like
Right?
did. But
Oh,
I don't have that talent, so I will take stamps and and paper and let the artist do the hard part so that I can just create something beautiful with their artwork.
absolutely. Absolutely. Well, we're real excited today about this suite that we're going to be using. It is my biggest challenge was all the combinations of the designer series paper that go so well together.
Mm.
That was my biggest challenge. But I did it. I came up with something. So
Well,
um
let's switch the camera over and we can show off the suite and the products that we're using today.
absolutely.
Oh my gosh. This is one that I
Woohoo!
loved from the first time I saw it in the catalog. And it really reminds me of you, Mom. I think it's just those beautiful fall colors. These just feel like your colors. They feel like my colors. And the colors in this suite are Petal Pink, Calypso Coral, Crushed Curry, Lost Lagoon, and Pool Party. It is called Inked Botanicals, and it includes a punch bundle called Inked and Tiled. And we're going to give you some ideas of these punches I think you're really going to love today. It dawned on me as I was getting ready for this video that, well, I keep feeling like this is sort of like an autumn colored themed, kind of a suite and the designer paper especially. And I wondered if maybe it was originally slotted for the mini catalog. And when the mini catalog was pushed back until September, I wonder if they kind of moved this to the annual catalog so that we could have it sooner. But either way, I think it's really beautiful for making cards all year long. And the my favorite part is the designer paper. It is a 6x6 designer paper pack, and so you get 4 sheets each of 12 different double-sided patterns. Um, and like you said, there's just so many different combinations of patterns and different ways to mix and match these. I think they're just so beautiful and double-sided. So we get that side and then more patterns, maybe that are even a little bit more monochromatic on the back side. So many different ways that you can use this paper and so many different, I think, so much versatility in what you can use it for. Like you can use those patterns with any stamp set. It doesn't have to necessarily be these sort of distressed floral and leaf print kind of images. And the plaids too. I made some cute cards. I wish I had it handy with the bird's eye view and used the plaid for that. So So many different ways that you can use this paper. And it's on sale in June 2023 as part of the Stampin' Up! Designer paper sale. So you can save 15% on the inked and tiled designer paper, as well as a bunch of other ones, some of which we talked about last week. So be sure to check out our videos to see some project ideas with some of these, like the Fresh as a Daisy, the Bright and Beautiful, the Countryside Inn. And last week we shared some projects with the Masterfully Made suite. So make sure to check out that one. So we've got the stamp set, we've got these punches, which are kind of quilt-ish in their pattern. And they kind of tile together and do some fun things. And then the last thing that's part of the suite is the Lost Lagoon ribbon. And this is a 1/4 inch. They're calling it a bordered ribbon, and it sort of has a distressed look. It's really soft, easy to make a bow out of, and I think just the right size to embellish your card with. I have a few samples to share with you before I turn the camera over to you, Mom. By the way, this is page 94 and 95 of the May 23 to April 24 Stampin' Up! Annual Catalog. And here are some cards that I've made, and I do have one swap to share as well. So here's one. I actually copied this one from the catalog. Really love that layout with the new nested essential dies, another favorite from the new catalog. And here's one a little more simply with the designer paper and I don't think you can see it very well with my lighting today, that new embossing folder with the kind of brick wall. And then here's one I did with the Patchwork Pieces die. Mom, you shared that die last week in our video, and this is the other die that is a little more curved. And I included some embossed cardstock in with the designer paper patterns. And then I love this one, kind of a simple note card. And I'm going to do a similar effect to this with my project today. And then the last card is a swap I received from Angie Leach using some of the designer paper. And I love how she did a little different colors on the stamp. So I can't wait, Mom, to see what you've created with the Inked Botanicals Suite. Are you ready to share your project?
I sure am. So I forgot to put the measurements on my little pieces here, but they will be in the description. But this is a standard 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4 card base. This is the inside piece, which is 4 inches by 5 1/4. And then I have a 2 inch by 5 1/4 inch piece of the designer series paper. Then I also found a scrap of the Calypso Coral and just tore it. They have a torn edge. I know last week I used the die to get this effect, but I was just being lazy and it was right in front of me, so I just tore it. I didn't do that. So anyway, those are the pieces, and I am going to now get started. So let us do that. So the first thing I'm going to do is a little bit of stamping. And I'm sorry if my voice gives out. Believe it or not, I think we're feeling better, but we sure don't sound it.
I know. I was just saying we sound worse than we did last week, but I feel like it's been an up and down week. Like we have good days and we have bad days. It's just has its claws in us.
It does. It really, truly does. Okay. So I decided to go with the tone on tone. So I used crushed curry ink on crushed curry cardstock. And then what I want to do is I want to take this punch from the punch pack, and I'm going to punch a window right in this corner. Yeah, okay. I don't want to get too close to the edge. All right. So we're done with that. And then on this piece, I'm going to stamp a little flower. And I debated what color to do in this corner, but I went ahead with this. Let's do it that way. I need a camera. I don't even know if I'm.
Is that crushed curry?
Nope. This ink is okay, Susan. Pretty in pink. What's the real pale one?
Petal pink?
Petal pink.
Pretty in pink. Oh my gosh, that's an old one.
Oh my gosh, it sure is. All right. Well, I'll blame COVID. How's that? All right, so then what I want to do, I'm going to close these things up before I make Julie scream. She won't scream. I don't know how much of my voice could let her.
Oh,
All right. Hopefully I'm not transferring any ink. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp happy birthday. And all of the greetings from this, I think, fit into this little star thing.
mm-hmm.
So I'm just stamp happy birthday. All right. So
I love that little peekaboo window. What a great idea.
Oh, thank you. Sometimes a genius will strike. It's all right. Let me get rid of this thing. And then we can do a little bit of assembly. This is really a pretty quick, simple card. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put some adhesive along this edge. Oh, I put it on the wrong edge. That's all right. I'll just turn it over and do it again. I need adhesive on it anyway. So we might as well just do the whole thing. Bam. Okay. And go on this side. And I just want this little torn edge to peek out. And I cut it a little bit longer than I need on purpose, so that I can make sure it's gonna
It is
fit.
a teeny tiny edge. Ooh.
It is a teeny tiny edge. That was a scrap I had. I didn't have problems when I did my sample. So now why am I struggling to get this thing out here? Okay.
Because there's a camera on you.
Oh,
That's how that works. When no one's watching, it's always easy to do it perfect.
I know. I say that to my customers all the time. All right. I think we got it. Now we're going to stick this guy on here. Right at the edge. So I'm going to go it just fits top to bottom. 5.5.
Oh, that window is so perfect.
There we go. So this is it. Nope, that one isn't in there yet. The only other thing is just make sure before you press it down all the way that it's showing where you want it in the window. That's my only little tip here for this. Yeah, that works. Okay. So rather than put bling on this one today, a little trimming I have to do here. I tied a bow out of this ribbon and I really like it. I love the distressed look of it. It's like so shabby chicy. Let me grab some glue dots. Oh my goodness. Come on. I don't know, Jules. Oh, this guy. Yeah, there's
What don't you know?
how quick it came together on my table when I was working. And now I seem to be struggling, but here it is.
No, that was pretty quick,
Okay.
and I love it. It's so pretty.
Well, just a little something on the inside. And I chose this paper because it goes with the stamp, and there's other patterns in that go with some of the other stamps. So I would certainly you have fun coordinating it. All right, so this card, I believe, is from, this is a swap I got on the cruise. Karen Barber, I believe. And the reason I say I believe, because I took it out of the sleeve, and then I misplaced it. So I think it's Karen. But I love this card because she uses several different of the patterns, and it's a card on a card. Boom, boom.
I love that sort of double open and all the opportunities to show off some beautiful patterns.
Exactly. I really like this card. So Karen, if this is your card, thank you. Love it. And the other card is another swap I got on the cruise, and this one is from Dawn Stock. I got some great swaps on the cruise.
I wish I could see them.
You will. We'll get together. I had them all packed and ready to come to see you.
Oh, no. I need to plan a visit.
We do. So again, using the nested die.
Mm-hmm.
And I just love this. Because she used this is actually from
The Earth and Elegance
Earth and Elegance.
Suite.
Yeah. So again, you can mix and match these. Muchas gracias. Dawn Stock, huh? Okay. She's from Ohio. And it's a gatefold. Very simple, but
Nice card.
just isn't that lovely? Again, it's just, using this paper. I love it. Anyway, so that's what I have to share with you today. So Julie, are you ready to share your project?
I am. Let's switch it over here. You said, oh, I forgot measurements. And I thought, oh, I need to do that too. So I quick scribbled them down, but we'll have them in the video description as we always do for you every week. So if you're ever looking for those, just I just dropped my paper trimmer. I think sometimes it's hard to find on YouTube. Sometimes there's like a little more that you can click on, or there's like a little down caret where you can find all the details, like the shopping list and the measurements and all of that stuff. All right, well, today's card, I really wanted to do something fun with these punches because I do think that they are a little I don't know the right word, unusual, perhaps. They don't coordinate with an image from the set. Like you said, Mom, all the greetings will fit into the bigger one. And I'll show you how to fit the smaller ones into the other one. But they don't really there's not a stamp set to like punch, you know what I'm saying? Like this image isn't in a stamp set. This shape isn't in a stamp set. Although there is some designer paper, I think the Delightfully Eclectic designer paper has a pattern that you can punch from the designer paper. That is one of those. So it's kind of interesting, and I really wanted to focus on how these punches fit and tiled together. And so this was my inspiration, but I wanted to just do a little something different because this one is literally so simple. So I'm adding a few layers, and instead of doing a simple note card, I'm going to create a version of this that is a regular card size. So I'm using Lost Lagoon for the card base. It's 5.5 by 8.5. And then I've got some other cardstock here. One of the things I love about this designer paper is that the background, the base of it is vanilla instead of white. And we don't see that a lot, but it's perfect with these colors. So I've got very vanilla 3 by 3 inches, and then crushed curry 3.25 by 3.25. And so instead of doing 6 tiled pieces, I'm going to do 4. And so I'm going to use the punches to punch out some of the designer paper. And I am choosing to do that larger sort of star shape with the vanilla background and the different colored patterns. And then I have the other one, some darker patterns. This one with the Calypso Coral, and this one with that Lost Lagoon pattern. And so the first thing is going to be to tile these and put them down. So just like the sample that I was inspired by in the catalog, I'm going to use Stampin' Dimensionals under the larger ones just to kind of pop them up, give this a little dimension. And then I will add the other two with regular adhesive. So I find that putting those down first is easier, and then you can kind of layer the other ones behind them. So first we're just going to layer those two together, and then we'll add our punched pieces with the dimensionals. And I'm putting them in the corner, and I'm just touching the corners with each other. So I'm trying to evenly space that. And then these are going to go, and they should fit just like that. I kind of feel like I need to scoot it over just a smidgy.
Oh, that's a new term, smidgy.
These are going to go down with some regular adhesive again, just to kind of add that dimension, but they do tile and line up so perfectly. So it can kind of line it up next to the other two and then just push it down, even though the other one is on with dimensionals. Usually you put the dimensional on second, but I think it's easier to get those on there first and then put the other ones around it. So there's our focal point with our tiled pieces. And this is going to go on the card base, but I wanted to do a little stamping. So I challenged myself. I've been leaning on this stamp a lot. I love it so much. But I wanted to challenge myself to use another big image from the set. So I'm using the leaf and stamping in Lost Lagoon to create a background on the card. So I'm going to do one near the top corner and one near the bottom corner. And I just realized we're both doing color on color stamping.
Oh,
That always happens where we
it does.
are just thinking alike. But I think it's really easy for these images, the sort of distressed leaf images, to kind of use that color on color. So this is just going to kind of be a little background on the card. And so the last thing then is to do the sentiment. And I noticed, let me show you back in the catalog. I love that they kind of pointed this out. And let's see. Where did we go?
94.95.
Thank you. um they kind of show how you can punch or stamp
Oh
your
my
sentiment. And then you just trim those off. So they've done it here, they've done it here, and
God.
this
I
this
never
skinny,
noticed.
yeah, this skinny words. So we've got three that are bigger that fit nicely in this punch, and then the other three are sized to perfectly fit in that cross section of the smaller punch.
Oh, wow.
And so you can do it one of two ways. You can stamp and then punch, or you can punch and then stamp. Let's try punching and stamping and see if I can line it up. And if not, we'll do the other way around. So I am using Petal Pink for the cardstock and Calypso Coral. That wasn't very straight. Calypso Coral for the ink. And I'm gonna see if I can do that a little better here. Okay. And then I'm going to just take my scissors and just trim right across.
I love this.
Easy peasy. And you have your little greeting. So all three of those, just a note, lots of love and congratulations. It does fit. Fit in that little cross section so you can have your little sentiment with the pointed ends. No fancy scissor cutting at all. So that's all from that fun little punch. So that's going to be the sentiment on our card. I'm going to add that up here. And I love the twine bow. So I'm just going to take some of the linen thread and tie a bow, and I'm going to put it behind the sentiment, and so then cover, like, just do some loops. And I think if we put it right down in this like little corner so that it's on, like, the dimensional is kind of then even with the knot. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah.
Then it won't be too bulky where the greeting is. So I'm gonna be very strategic about placing that down with the glue dot right down in the base of that, so that it's flush with the punch piece that is on dimensionals already. And then because I've got a dimensional here and I've got this to kind of prop it up, I'm just going to use some regular adhesive over the sentiment to put that down.
I think this is a first. That you
What's
didn't
a
use dimensional on your greeting.
Oh, on the greeting perhaps, but I did use them here and I'm going to use them on the backside.
Oh, there you go.
I try to limit like how many dimensional layers. I try to limit to 2 on a card because I don't want it to be too bulky. And so because this big piece is going on with dimensionals and because this punch piece is already with dimensionals, I didn't want to add more bulk to that. So this is going to go in the card. I'm going to go a little top center here. And I didn't do a piece for the inside. I don't know why I didn't think of it, but you just pretend that I did a regular 4 by 5 1/4. I'll go back and do it after the video and just add like a little punched leaf to go inside just to dress up because it is kind of a darker card base, so it's good to have that in there. So here's my note card version, and here is the full size card version.
Wonderful.
Um, and I'm really digging these punches. I wasn't so sure on them, but the more that I use them, especially with this designer paper, the more I'm just really in love. All right, well
But
okay.
I've noticed with this catalog, when I first went through it, I thought, okay, and it felt like there may be some things that we, had kind of over and over. But as I'm starting to play with each suite,
Mm,
I'm finding, I don't want to say nuances. I'm finding the creativity of our designers really shine through on some of these details,
yes.
like that your greeting on this card fitting in that one punch. I missed it completely in the catalog. Just it's things like that.
I
So,
do feel like the dyes especially just keep getting
mhm,
more and more like innovative and different
yeah,
and detailed. And that is really what makes it stand apart is the
yes.
amazing tools that can be used and mixed and matched with the stamp
Yeah,
images that are just incredible.
I don't know. You out there who are watching, what do you think? Have you found that
Yes.
well? Give us some feedback and let us know what you think. I'm curious.
Well, let's flip the camera around and we'll show off our cards together.
Okay.
The Inked Botanicals Suite. Oh my gosh. I love this one so much. It truly is one of my favorite. And even if you're not a fan of the artwork or the punches, if you like the designer paper, like we said, it's so versatile and you can use it with so many different stamp sets. It's on
Yeah.
sale this month in June. You can save 15% off the Inked Botanicals designer paper, as well as almost all of the other designer paper from the annual catalog. So be sure to click on the shop links in our video description so you can get your favorites while they're on sale.
Absolutely. And that's just one thing that's going on here in June.
Yes.
If you've been thinking about becoming a demonstrator, we'd love to have one, you join one of our teams. So there is but I can talk till the end of June, you can get an extra $30, 35
Yes,
$30
$30.
in product in your kit.
Yeah.
It's free stuff. So you get 100 and okay, $150 worth for
155.
155 or $99.
Yeah. Plus tax, no shipping. I mean, yeah.
Ah, and,
If you
and you can fill your kit with the designer series paper that's on sale at the sale prices.
double dipping, pretty amazing.
It is amazing. Absolutely. And just a little tease. We all know that a couple times a year, Stampin' Up! Comes up with some online exclusives. Well, this is the pre-order month for demonstrators. Now we can't order all of it. We don't even know what all of it is. But
Mm-hmm.
in July, we will be having some more fun online exclusives
Yeah.
coming up. So I'm excited for that. I can't wait to see what else is in that online exclusive stuff. Something to look forward to.
Yes, we always, and I love this new plan. So with the online exclusives,
Yeah.
Stampin' Up is releasing new product every other month all year
Yes.
long. So I
Yes.
think that's just so exciting to always have something fresh and new that is coming out. And truly there's something for everybody. I feel like that with this designer paper. in this annual catalog, the designer paper is so varied and different, and there truly is something for everybody. We've got fishing, and we've got flowers, and we've got space, outer space, and the cute zoo crew animals, and the bright and beautiful paper with the bold patterns and the stars and the swirls and the circles. And I just feel like there truly is something for everyone. And so I just love that with the constant release of new product. If this isn't for you, then something else will be.
Absolutely. Well, this was a fun day. I love this week. I absolutely love it. And I had fun making this card. It just kind of came together once I figured on colors, because
Mhm.
I kept vacillating between, Calypso Coral and Lost Lagoon and Crushed Curry. So anyway, we hope you enjoyed it. We hope we've inspired you. We
Yes,
so appreciate you watching us. And make sure you sign up for our channel so you never miss an episode of Sunday Stamping.
that's right. Every Sunday at noon Central Time, 1:00 p.m. Eastern Time.
Absolutely. So until next Sunday Stamping with Susan and Julie, have a great week. Bye,
Thanks.
everybody.
Bye, everybody. Thanks for watching. Bye, Mom.
Bye,
Love
babe.
you.
Love you.